What's up guys, Spin Firearms here, and normally I don't do videos like this, but I have to. I experienced the craziest day at the range yesterday. Never seen anything like it. Now let me give you the layout. I go to a place where there's something called the members bay. And also there's the public section, right? If you pay monthly, for instance, $70, you get 2 targets every time you come to the range. You get to go separate from everyone else in something called the members bay, which, the targets spin and go back and forth, and that way you can train a little more in depth. Now, I like going indoors and shooting, that's the most convenient. But I prefer shooting outdoors and doing some more in-depth training, drawing from the holster, moving while shooting, stuff like that. I feel like that's the best training you can get. But especially if you live near a city, and in most cases, it's most convenient just to go to a range where it's lane, 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 lane. So like I said, chaos happens at the range. That's everywhere you go. That's why we choose the members bay. The members bay, like I said, you pay money, you get targets, you get a free rental every time you go there, you get to bring someone for free, stuff like that. It's the way to go. In the public side, it's fine. We shoot there too as well. We've done that many times. I used to do that a lot, but there's more chaos there. There's more new shooters that aren't members, which is fine. Nothing wrong with new shooters. But typically, there's less safety over there, more craziness, and yeah, it just is what it is. I'm just telling you the facts. A lot of people might get offended by that. That's just facts, straight across the board. So we go to the members bay. And at the members bay, typically, like I said, less stuff happens there. The RSO barely even watches you. They typically trust you over there. Well, we got there, and it was chaos. Now, I just want to say, there's nothing wrong with anything we saw yesterday. Do you. Dress how you want, shoot how you want, wear what you want to the range, whatever the case may be. I don't care. As long as you're at the range practicing and working on getting better, I'm happy about it. But we get there, and, there's nobody at first. Then people started trickling in. And first, to start off things, there was somebody sighting in a red dot. He either had a staccato or a prodigy. I couldn't tell from a distance. But yeah, right? So pretty expensive firearm, right? Accurate handgun, beast of a shooter. I kid you not, he had a block. I don't have one nearby, but he had a block. And he was all the way down in this crazy stance. His leg was 3 feet back. He was as low as the table is on the block, sighting in that firearm, right? Nothing wrong with that. Sighted in. He was sighting it in from 5 feet. Not 5 yards, 5 feet. With a handgun like that, you're hitting at 50, 60, 70 feet effortlessly using irons. He's sitting there sighting it in. I kid you not. The target was dang near here to this wall. It was crazy. And I'm like, that just doesn't make any sense. It is what it is, right? And I'm like, that's fine. If that's what you want to do, go for it. And on top of that, he was wearing goggles. Not safety glasses, like snowboarding goggles, snowmobiling goggles. And they had a little pouch on the back side. So not only was he wearing these goggles, which is fine. Once again, that's safe. Maybe he gets better vision from them. That's fine. It just looks insane. And then when you have a $1,000 gun, $2,000, $3,000 gun, and you're sighting it in from 5 feet, it makes you look even crazier, right? It is what it is, though. He's fine. Not a big deal. But he had a pouch hanging from the back of his goggles. And I'm thinking it was a tourniquet, or I don't know what he stores up there. But it's sort of weird having something hanging from the back of your head while you're shooting. It was just a really interesting choice. But yeah, and he was there with his buddy. This is where things start getting crazy. These are the 4 guns that I brought to the range. That's why I have them out. I brought my Hellcat, my XDS, Glock 30S, and CZ. Shout out to my buddy Dan Hag. As he introduced me to a lot of certain handguns, especially this thing right here. Also, shout out to my buddy Dan, who I was with shooting. Now we're shooting, and we're just having fun, testing some firearms and stuff. And that guy's buddy, who was shooting, comes over to us. He goes, "Hey, what you guys shooting? What are you guys shooting?" Because this thing was spitting fireballs yesterday. Straight fireballs, and we were accurate as can be. He's like, "What are you shooting? What calibers?" I'm like, 9, 40, 45, the typical rounds, right? And he goes, okay, I reload. Let me get your brass. And I'm like, okay, first of all, chill. Just be like, hey, man, can I have your brass? You don't have to be like that, but fine, sure. All you. I'm all for it. I'd rather have you have it than the range, right? So I'm like, yeah, of course. So here I am with a Hellcat. Oh, this stuff just gets crazy and crazier. Just stay tuned. Sitting here with my Hellcat. Absolute quarters with this thing. Absolute quarters. Straight up quarters from distance. We're not shooting 5 feet like next to us. Nothing wrong with that, though. It is what it is. But I'm going to get into it. I'm sitting there shooting, and here's my leg, and I just hear... I'm like, what? I look down, the guy's got the range broom, and he's sweeping up all my brass while I'm shooting. And I'm like, what is going on right now? I just feel nudges. Oh, sorry. I'm like, bro, I will bring them to you. I'll sweep them to you. Let me shoot. And I just keep feeling... I'm like, this is just out of control. I do not understand what is going on right now. So, it is what it is. Fine, take the brass. You bump me 5-6 times, whatever. Maybe it won't happen again. Well, I look over into his bay. I like watching people, and I like seeing what they shoot, right? I also like to help people, and if they're throwing shots or whatever, I try and explain to them, what they could do differently, or at least how I would do it differently. Well, I look over there, and what does he have? He has 3 Kimbers, and I forgot the other one. He had like one of those micro 9mm, 1911s, or whatever they're called. Then he had 2 larger, like full-size 1911s from Kimber. And I'm like, dang, those look actually pretty sweet. They're awesome looking. So his carry gun was that little micro 1911. And he pulls it out of the holster, and he starts shooting it. And we were just joking around, like, oh, it's a Kimber. I wonder if it's going to run. Nothing against that. If you like Kimbers and yours runs, I'm all for it. I have a Kimber Mako R7. Thing has been flawless. Thing's been great. It's a tack driver. But I've also put a lot of rounds through it at this point, so I trust it. He pulls out his carry gun out of the holster, starts shooting it. I think he got 2 rounds in, jam. You hear boom, boom. And once again, this is that first guy's buddy. He's shooting from 5 feet, which is fine. With a carry gun, you're practicing up close and personal. You're working your way out, whatever the case may be. That's fine. We've all been there. That is not a problem. I have nothing against that. 3rd round, click. I'm like... We can't make this stuff up. This is not happening. He's got 3 Kimbers over there, probably worth $4 to $5 grand. Here I have, 500, 400, that's 900, plus 500, that's 1,300, plus 6. So this is about less than $2 grand. Our whole table, and my buddy had a bunch of firearms too, were less than his 3 Kimbers, right? And nothing wrong with Kimber. Like I said, if you like Kimber, you like Kimber. They just are known for issues. 3rd round, jam. I'm like, okay, maybe it's a fluke. Giving him the benefit of the doubt. Tapping a rack, jam. I'm like, what is going on? Like, this is proving every stereotype right of Kimbers. So what does he do? He goes, man, I'm basically sick of that. He grabs his full-size Kimber. The thing looked sick. I can't even lie. The way it looked was awesome. And that's what draws a lot of people over to Kimbers, the way they look. 4th round, jam. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. This is just getting crazy. So, it goes back to the other Kimber. Jam. I'm like, this is just, what is this world we are living in, right? Then the RSO comes in, and, he's watching them. And he walks up to the guy who's still sighting in that dot, probably 30, 40 minutes in, sighting in his dot all the way down. Which is fine, whatever. But at 5 feet. And the guy finally tells me, you're not going to have an accurate dot. You're not going to have an accurate gun doing that from 5 feet. So he's trying to explain that to him. Well, once again, we're shooting, getting hit by a broom. I'm like, what? You can't make this stuff up. While we're getting hit with a broom, and we're sort of laughing about it, while the guy's there, he has no situational awareness, no understanding of what's going on. He cannot read the room that quit hitting my leg. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to say anything. I'm just trying to let it go. Whatever, take my brass. So I started just bringing it over to him. I'd kick it over, or I'd sweep it to him. I'm like, I want to shoot in peace. Well, while we're laughing about that, we're looking at my target. We're pointing out the groupings. And a round goes through our target. I kid you not. We're sitting there dying of laughter like, what in the world is going on? This is insanity. Someone shot our target from their lane. I kid you not. We're just like, this is just fake. I didn't believe we were there for a moment. I legit thought I was dreaming. This was fake. It literally looked like something out of a movie, out of a circus. It was just chaos in there. And I didn't know who did it or what they did it. Then you see someone sighting in or, using a laser on something. You look down range, and the laser is literally going like this. From that side to the ceiling. It looked like someone was just talking and going like this. I'm like, what? It doesn't stop. Like that, it must be that time of day or something. Everyone comes out. The craziness comes out. It's just wild. I just did not understand what was going on whatsoever. It was absolute chaos. But when it's all said and done, we had fun. No one got hurt. They got their Kimber sighted in, hopefully. But was even crazier when we went to leave, and when that guy went to leave, he took that Kimber, loaded it up, racked around, put it into his holster. Walked out of there with the firearm that had probably 12 to 20 malfunctions by the time we got in there. Absolutely crazy. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed.